Oh, I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I'm freaking pumped. Today we're gonna be doing like a tone-on-tone or a vintage style of print. I don't even know what you'd call it because it's really not technically either of those things, but it's a cheater method to get that effect, and it looks really cool. I've actually only done this once before, and that was way back when I first started, so clearly I've gotten a lot better since then, but since then I've been thinking about it a lot and really wanting to revisit this so that it's something that maybe I could offer in my own brands or to our clients or whatever, and just explore what can be done with it and get a little bit more technical with it. So that's what we're gonna do today. This right here is how we're going to achieve this effect today. We've just got some standard white and black plastisol, some curable reducer, and some soft hand base. Normally when doing a tone-on-tone print, you'd mix a custom color slightly lighter or slightly darker than the shirt that you're printing on. But what we're doing here is making a very transparent white and black with the help of this reducer so that when it goes onto our shirt, the shirt color is going to show through and do all that tonal work for us. It also kind of gives it that vintage washed out look kind of vibe, so it doesn't work for every application, but in this case, it's gonna be awesome. We're also adding in some soft hand base, which helps plastisol kind of penetrate the fabric and feel a little bit more like water-based. Not sure if it's even necessary because there's gonna be so much reducer in this stuff, but we're getting fancy today, so I'm putting it in. And I have heard of other ways of doing this, like using clear ink or straight curable reducer, but clear ink leaves a really heavy shine to it, so that's out of the question for me. And straight reducer, I feel like it doesn't quite get the effect that I'm after. I feel like it needs that little bit of color to kind of really make it pop. And in both of those cases, they'll only give you a darker tonal effect, whereas today we're gonna be doing a dark and light one. So this is just the way that I've come up with to do this. Now, I'm not entirely sure on the mixing ratio just yet, and I feel like this is where a lot of other people would keep that a secret. I'm not gonna do that to you, but I am kind of winging it here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut to a B-roll sequence of me mixing this stuff up, and while that's going on, I'll put the mixing ratio on the screen. All right, let's do this. Let's hope those ratios are correct. That's why I only mixed a small batch of each so that if we have to make any adjustments, I can come back and redo it. Since we're doing some kind of retro looking vintage style print, I figured let's make some retro looking artwork to go with it. And man, this thing is so dope. I've been wanting to do something like this for a long time, and now that we're starting up this new little brand underneath the Rogue Lab name where we can go completely apeshit creatively, it was time to make it happen. This is our new little Rogue Lab mad scientist guy, and he is perfect for this print today because he's very heavily influenced by the Vault Boy from the game Fallout, which is one of my favorites of all time. And if you're familiar with that game at all, you know there's a lot of very retro, post-war modern stuff going on in there. So as soon as this idea popped into my head, I was like, we need to make this. So I kind of gathered some reference material and came up with the tagline and just like kind of the basics for it and handed it over to Dan. He killed it on this thing as he always does, and now we got something awesome to make. Alright, so I've set this thing up to be a 2-color, and I've made an extra screen to do a single color version just because some shirt colors you won't be able to get away with too, so I figured why not do both? And I've also set up on 305 mesh screens because our ink now is incredibly thin, so we don't want to lay down too heavy of a deposit. And the final piece to our puzzle today is the shirts that we're gonna use. We're gonna be using these all-made tri-blend tees, which are super, super soft, and now we've got a very thin, soft ink going on top of it, so we're definitely gonna get a very light, nice-feeling shirt. Another reason I'm using a tri-blend shirt today is because with the ink being heavily transparent, we're gonna be able to see through the print that kind of heathered look that tri-blends have, so it's gonna give the print a little bit of texture and kind of add to that vintage retro vibe. Also, did you know that there's like 6 water bottles in one of these? It's pretty awesome. I don't know what color to try first. I think let's do the red first because it's my least favorite. That way if anything goes wrong, it's not really gonna matter too much to me because I'm not printing any testers. We're going straight to it. Full commitment mode. Oh, fucking sick. Yes! Are you guys ready to see something magical? that's pretty amazing. I can't believe I nailed the ratio on the first try. I kind of changed it up a little bit from when I did it way back a year ago, and this is exactly the look that I was going for. And when I did this the first time, I didn't do it as 2 colors. I only did it as 1. This is my very first try at a 2 color, and man, this is amazing. The red is my least favorite color too. I have a feeling that it's gonna look way better on some of these other ones. So let's quickly run off the rest of these and then pick out our next color. Alright, what color to do next? I think I'm gonna save the army green for last. I have a feeling that that's gonna be the coolest one. Let's do the blue. So that blue looks incredible, and I don't even like blue, but I am digging this. It definitely shows off that tonal effect really, really nice. This is the front runner so far. All right, let's do the gray next. The gray and the black, they're the ones where I feel like they may have to be a single color because I'm not sure how well the white or lighter ink is gonna show up on the gray, and then vice versa for the black. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sacrifice one of each of these shirts and see if the 2 color works, and if it doesn't, then I know I need to go to the single, and then that way you guys can see it as a 2 color and as a single color for your own applications. Okay, well I guess I stand corrected on this one. The light color works fantastic on the gray. That's why we test stuff out, I guess. It's a shame to kill this thing really, because it looks fantastic, but we've got more of them. I'm gonna flip this thing over and print the other side, I think with just the black by itself, because some of you may just have a single color press, or some of you may just wanna do this as a single color because that's what floats your boat. So it's not bad. Definitely not as much wow factor as the 2 color version, but this is still pretty cool if you ask me, and something that if you have a 1 color press or you're not too familiar with registering 2 colors together yet, then this is definitely a cool option. I'm really interested to try that black one now, because that black tri-blend shirt, it's not like a deep rich black. It's kind of borderlining between black and like a darker gray. So maybe the 2 color version will work on there. If it does, it'll look super cool, I think. And if it doesn't, we'll just do a white ink on there. So let's just do that one right now. Oh shit, it works! Well, maybe I should have saved this one for last, because that looks so damn good. Oh, I'm pumped on that. And I'm not flipping this one over and printing it again. You guys saw a little shot along the way of this with just white on it. That's good enough. This is way too good to kill off. So excuse me while I print the rest of these. Last but not least, it's Army Green time. This is the one that I thought was going to be the coolest until the black happened, and I think that one might take the title, but Army Green is one of my favorite colors, so I'm going to dig it either way. Ooh, I don't know. It's a close call. So this one might be the winner, at least to me. Well, it looks so good. My opinion might be a little biased, but it's my video. I can do what I want. I've got to knock out the rest of these, but we're not done with these shirts just yet, because since these shirts are actually going to be up for sale, we got to add the finishing touches to them, because that's what we do around here. So I'm also going to be printing in the custom neck label and sewing on some hem tags, because those little details, they make a difference. So let's finish these up. Ready to go, so let's go take a closer look at these things. damn, those things turned out good. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be stealing one of each of those for myself. But yeah, it's a super simple and effective print method that you can add to your arsenal. And I picked up a couple other pointers along the way to give you guys. The first one is to make sure you're getting that print with one stroke, because I took that junk shirt and I printed on it a few more times, and every single time that you hit that print, it gets darker and darker and darker, and you start to lose that tonal effect pretty quick. So make sure you're using pretty solid pressure, hit it with one stroke, and cut it off there. The second thing is the stroke itself. First, when you're flooding back, make sure you only flood to the top of the design, because if you start flooding back too far and you're not getting all that ink back down to the bottom side of the screen, it'll start to run down the screen, and because this ink is so thin, it'll actually start to run right through the mesh. And as you can see by this one shirt where it did that and I didn't realize it, it left some pretty ugly drip marks on the shirt because I was laying down a way heavier ink deposit in that spot. So make sure you're only flooding the screen right to the top of the design. And I actually recommend doing a push stroke for this, so that you're always pushing that ink back down to the bottom, so when your screens go back up, it settles there and there's nothing running down into your stencil. And carrying off of that, the third and final point is make sure your screens are taped off really well, especially in the corners. Because this ink is so thin, it's gonna find its way out of any of those open areas if you didn't tape it up enough. As you can see, it happened to me a little bit. Didn't cause me any issues, but it could have, and now I know for next time. But I hope you guys put this to work for yourselves. It's super fun, really easy to do, and as you saw, clearly it makes a really cool effect. And if you guys want one of these, you can click the link down in the description. Check out our brand new Rogue Lab site. We've been working on this thing for like a month trying to dial it in, and it's getting pretty cool. But pick one of these up if you so choose. It goes a long way towards supporting the channel and helping us make bigger, better, badder print content for you guys. And be sure to follow me on Instagram right here and tag me in photos, shoot me a DM, whatever. Let me know if you guys use this technique for yourselves. I'd really like to see it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
What are you doing? Wheels, what are you doing, you cute little piece of shit? Hey! Hey! Don't chew on the damn slider. Get out of there.
Well, of course, the guy across the street has his leaf blower out because 8 snowflakes fell last night. Every time I try to film, why can't some people just shovel like everybody else? Look at that, like 10 minutes after I was talking about that guy's horrible snow removal, it starts just dumping huge flakes. That's what you get. Come on, don't put your butthole on my head. You only do this when the camera comes out, superstar.